Hi and welcome to Etsy Manchester's Meet Our Makers. I'm Saskia, also known as Saskia Wrycroft. You can find me on Etsy at Saskia Wrycroft and Instagram and Facebook. Without further ado, let's get into the questions. This is my office. It's a small Salford flat. This happens to be the spare bedroom. I really love the colour of the walls. It's this nice pistachio mint green. I have a lot of different storage for all my different jewellery making supplies. Some of it's labelled, some of it isn't. It's quite cringy. Some parts are really messy, but I'm not going to show you those. I have a few different bits of artwork on my pinboard and around my office from actual local Etsy makers, which is quite nice. And then I have a bit of a packing station with some stickers and business cards and things like that. And then there is normally a reasonable amount of clutter on my desk, but I have been sneaky and hidden that from you. And then finally we got a couple plants around. I just really like the colour green. And of course, crystals everywhere. So I started making jewellery as a child, and then I officially started my Etsy shop in 2014. So actually when I was around 15, don't do that, wait till you're 18. My dad managed to help me set up my shop and handled more of the businessy financial things for me during then, because I was too young to pay taxes, things like that. I make gemstone and fossil jewellery. I always have. There's a few pieces that I did in the beginning that weren't really gemstone related, but for the majority they have been. One of the first things I sold was a wire wrapped gemstone necklace. I don't do so much wire wrapping these days. I only used to use polished tumble stones back then, so now I use a mixture of raw, polished, a lot of contemporary cut stones, things like that. So it has evolved quite a lot. My business for me is a part-time self-employed job, so I work 3 days a week and then I work 2.5 days a week on my jewellery business. Around Christmas it tends to be 3 to 4 days a week when I get quite busy. I do really enjoy my job. I love making jewellery. Every time the little Etsy ka-ching noise goes off, it makes a little smile on my face. I joined Etsy Manchester in 2018. After a few months of being on the Facebook group, I decided to attend a social, and I really enjoyed it. I really loved it actually. I'm not very social, mainly my job is to blame for that, other than doing markets, so I really like the social interaction of the group. Also, I don't know many people that are self-employed, or I didn't before I joined Etsy Manchester, so it's quite nice to get to meet new people all the time and see a lot of our regular team members that do similar jobs to me and have all the same struggles. I became a leader probably around the summer of 2018 because I wanted to host my own social, but you don't have to. But I joined to be a leader to do the social because I wanted to spread the word of getting YouTubers to review your products and put them on YouTube, because that worked really well for me, and I can link some of those down below. So I wanted to preach that. I really wanted to help people grow their businesses as well as mine, just share tips, things like that. And then I really enjoy helping people learn about Etsy and get better with Etsy and things like that. So that's why I joined the team really. And then I think around a year ago I decided that I wanted to start the team's YouTube channel, because if you didn't know, I actually run these videos on this channel and I respond to the comments, so it's me behind this channel. And for the past few months I decided that I really want to push for the channel. I want to introduce more of our Etsy team members, and then eventually I want to make it more of a tutorial based channel, but also public facing, so like help promote our events and things like that. I would say photography is really important. Well, it's definitely really important. It's the main thing people look at. You can find some really good tutorials on YouTube or Pinterest or, books. You don't have to pay for a photography class, and you certainly don't need a big fancy camera. But pictures are so important. Having nice backdrops, good lighting, making sure your shots are in focus. You'd be surprised the amount of people that don't have photos in focus, so that's really important. And then obviously your tags and description are so important. It's what helps people find you on Etsy. I have a video on my top tips in the description if you'd like to see, but you can find plenty on YouTube as well. The answer is yes. I'm always working on new products. I bring out new products about every 2 weeks really. I recently just brought out some new hair clips. new hair clips. These are made from chipped and broken gemstones with resin, so it's like almost recycling or reusing a product that I couldn't use before. And I'm always bringing out new necklaces and new earrings. You can find those all the time. Now this is a really tricky question because I love a lot of gemstones, but I also love minerals. So I'm gonna be a bit sneaky and tell you my favourite gemstone and my favourite mineral. So one of my favourites is probably labradorite. I have this big, heavy, chunky pebble. I love labradorite in jewellery, but also just on its own. You can have so many different colour varieties with labradorite, from blue to green to even purple flashes. So depending on the angle you look at the stone, it can change colour, and I think that's just so cool. As for minerals is fluorite. So you can have regular fluorite and rainbow fluorite. And this is actually sourced locally, which is really cool. This is from Weardale in Durham. There is like a big mine there. But I love fluorite and rainbow fluorite there's just so many colour options, and it's just such a cool stone. You can do so many things with it. And I just love the colour combinations. Like rainbow fluorite is probably one of my best sellers on Etsy just because the colour it's really cool. It's really cool. So my first make was here on screen. It was like a wire wrapped gemstone necklace. It was tiny. I was using completely wrong kind of pliers on it. It's terrible. I'm really sorry if you're watching this and you bought that from me 6 years ago. Message me and I'll send you something better. Yeah, it's awful. Oh God, I can't. And then my most recent make is probably one of these necklaces. I brought out quite a few new ones recently, but this one's probably the most recent. It's African turquoise, and they're all in these little round disc shapes, and I just think they're really nice. And that is it for all of the questions. So thank you so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, click here or here to subscribe to the channel, and somewhere down here to watch another one of our videos.